This is the dark side of cosigns. I don't know what it is about Kanye that every summer a former good music signee decides to take shots at him. You guys will all remember last year that Sci-Hi the Prince made a diss track against Kanye. You know, the track was a bit fictional, the elephant in the room. Although it was good, it was fictional. And this is the dark side of a cosign where you decide to get under somebody's umbrella, and maybe you might have certain gripes about certain resources that you're not getting, whether it be money, whether it be promotion. But at the end of the day, you have to be very mindful that you are on someone else's team who could quite possibly has the very same mindset as you do. If you're building a team, it's very important that the leader be the leader and that the leader not have the same mindset as those who are supposed to be under this person, because then you will have a conflict. You have somebody who's trying to be the boss. You have somebody who just feels like they're not getting their fair share. So I think an artist has to be very mindful of the fact that when you co-sign under another artist, who knows why people sign under major labels at all? I mean, it's beyond me why people do that, because every day you just see more independent artists just getting shit done out there. But Kid Cudi nonetheless decides to take shots at Kanye via Twitter. Kanye then responds while he's on tour. I'll let you listen to what Kanye had to say.
Kid Cudi, don't never mention your name. I birthed you. You mad because I'm doing songs with Drake? I'm so hurt. I feel so disrespected. Kid Cudi, we two black men in a racist world. I wore skinny jeans first.
You can always count on Kanye to say something profound and then to follow that up with something that's totally fucking nonsensical. We're two black men in a racist country, right? And then the next line is, I was the first one to wear skinny jeans. So that like completely throws like all credibility just right out of the window. It's like you don't even pay attention to that part of the rant. He's saying, he's making some very wild claims, saying that I made you, I birthed you is what he's stating. But of course, this is very timely. This Kid Cudi, who in his tweets, he mentioned something about music on the way. So he figured out a very clever way to sort of promote his album. And obviously nobody was in love with Speeding Bullet to Heaven. This is pretty strange because the emotion that Kanye displayed on stage, obviously they have a very personal relationship with each other, and obviously their music sort of bleeds into one another. I think, there's certain parts of Speeding Bullet to Heaven and certain parts of Indicud where I could definitely get a feel for the Kanye sound, and I can do, vice versa when you listen to Kanye's work. Now that's not to say that either of them are responsible for either styles. It just means birds of a feather. They obviously have the same ear for music. So what's really strange to me is that Cudi seems to be taking an attempt towards the mainstream when everything in his career over the past 4 to 5 years has been the opposite. Does this imply that his experimentation stage is sort of over and his new album is going to be something that's more palatable to the regular fan? Because I've always felt like Kid Cudi is the prime example of somebody who just makes music for his fan base, and he does not give a shit about any new listeners. He's just trying to be heard by the Kid Cudi fanatic. And now that he's being all sensitive here on Twitter, and Kid Cudi's always had a history of being sensitive. He's always had a history of, as Kanye said, is dealing with the emo shit, which to me, I guess, sort of implies that, we're all emotional and we understand that we're all emotional artists, but you need to keep your emotions at bay. As far as the Drake dissing, and of course, Drake took a shot. He said, you're getting way too high. You need to cut it. He's referencing the OT Genesis track, and of course he's implying that Cudi's probably high as fuck. And when people imply things like that, they obviously are implying something more than just weed. I'm sure Drake is implying, I don't know, maybe Cudi does crack. I have no fucking clue. If you listen to his last few albums, you wouldn't think that that's far from the truth either. But as far as the Drake diss, I just think it's something it's just a common trope that's going on nowadays when you want to bash today's music, because obviously he would represent the number one spot. So it's like, where's the state of all this? Where's the state of all this? And he even mentioned in his tweet, he said the art is gone. So it seems to be just an easy thing to just vaguely throw a jab out there and say that, the top five, and, have people penning their songs. And Kanye's obviously had people write music for him. But there's got to be something more to this that we don't know. There's got to be another piece to this puzzle. But this all the while goes on with the same sort of theme in his music, in his albums. That's sort of just the starving artist, always just malaised in a state of depression and always in this emotional crisis and can't really figure things out. It really goes along with the Kid Cudi aesthetic. But what do you guys think about the situation? Of course, this isn't something that we can call a beef. This is just fucking Twitter jabs, nothing that will end in any music, of course, which is what I'm always hoping for. But what do you guys think about this conflict? Sometimes these things end up being about women. Who fucking knows? But what do you think about it? Please let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time.